Today, nearly 500,000 public sector workers are off the job in Quebec. Picket lines are expected in front of schools and hospitals right across the province. Elementary and secondary schools are closed this morning. They'll resume classes this afternoon. Health services have not shut down, but they are operating at a reduced capacity as workers call for better pay and improved working conditions. For the very latest on the strike this morning, we're joined by CTV Montreal's Matt Gilmore. Welcome to your morning, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I can see a lot of activity behind you. The picket lines have started. The government, we were speaking with a union representative from Quebec last week. The government offered a 13.3% wage increase over 5 years for the public sector. The union workers rejected it, saying they are at least 10% apart. What do workers want?
Yeah, the workers want a raise, pay raises over the next 5 years that are pegged to inflation. They say they've been constantly or consistently being given raises that are under the rate of inflation. They've been falling behind in terms of their purchasing power, and they want raises that are equal to inflation plus 2% in the first year, 3% in the second year, and 4% in the third year of their 3-year contract that they're asking for. The government, on the other hand, is offering a 10.3% base salary raise. They're also offering about $1,000 as an initial sign-on bonus for everybody in the union, and then some additional incentives, some money for incentives and bonuses that the government then says equals to an average of around 13.5–14%. So you can see there is still a major difference between where the union is and where the government is, taking into consideration that last year inflation was around 7%. This year it's going to be around 4%. So we're talking about a pretty major gap between what the unions are asking for and what the government is offering at this point.
Yeah, we're already beginning to see some of the impacts of the strike that's happening today. Vashi Kapelos was just on saying that Premier Legault is not going to Halifax for the Premier's meeting. He's going to stay in Quebec, partly because of the strike. But today is only the beginning of job action in the province. So what are we expecting to see next?
Well, as you say, this is the first day. They've voted in favor of a general unlimited strike that basically lasts until there's a negotiated agreement. So this is the first one. I think there's probably going to be, unless there's an agreement with the government, 1 or 2 other similar sort of localized or one-day strikes going forward in the next few weeks. And then if, again, nothing happens, the union representatives I've spoken to have said that they're prepared to take this into a general strike that could last as long as it takes. So we're talking about health and social services. I'm outside one of the main hospitals in Montreal right now where we've got social workers, physiotherapists, nutritionists, clerical, maintenance staff all walked off the job. Again, it is limited what they can do because of the essential services rule. The ICUs and ERs are running as normal, and these workers are only really allowed to strike for about 1.5 hours per day. But later this morning, we'll be going to one of the schools nearby where teachers have walked off the job. They're going to be off until 10:30, and then classes will resume at 11. So obviously, the fact that schools are part of this, that's going to be very concerning for parents with small children looking for a place to send their kids during the day. And if this does continue for a long time, it could be an extended situation for parents and for people who need hospital services.
Those are some of the key pressure points where this strike will be taking place. What's the province's response been so far?
Yeah, the province says that they understand that public sector workers need to be paid more. That's why they're offering what they're offering. As we just discussed, though, it's not enough according to the unions and according to the workers. But they say they need to balance the needs of the workers with the needs of the taxpayers, and they have to basically make sure that every tax dollar goes as far as it can for the people. And so the position from the government so far has not been super receptive to the union's demands. They've been saying that the union needs to lower their demands. They've given them multiple ultimatums over the course of this whole dispute. And most recently, they took away some incentives, some bonus incentives that are a remnant of the COVID era when they were trying to get more and more health workers, especially back to work. So they took those away as a pressure tactic. So it hasn't been the most amicable negotiation thus far.
Right.
But we'll see how this latest pressure tactic from the unions affects the negotiations.
Just about 7:15 in the morning, and it's already busy there. Scott Gilmore, we're going to check in with him a little bit later this morning. Thanks for that.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.